What if YouTube videos looked like this again? Filmed on our shitty, like 3 megapixel built-in laptop cameras, filmed in our bedrooms, not in front of fancy and meticulously designed sets, not filmed with studio level lighting, but just a desk lamp. What if they weren't scripted, not overly scripted, and not overly edited either? Maybe a cut here and there, and maybe even an image inserted for emphasis, but mostly unedited. Not like every breath that's being taken is edited out. No fancy graphics to get you from one point of the video to the next without losing your interest. I'm not saying it's bad that YouTube videos today look like little short films, basically. I'm not saying it's bad that there's high quality YouTube videos, but there are no more low quality ones, at least barely any. Whenever I find some, whenever YouTube, for some reason, digs into the algorithm and pulls out a like couple hundred views video that's filmed like this on a shitty camera, it's the same way that I would have expected a video 15 years ago to look. Whenever that happens, I think, oh, thank God, everybody is still making videos. That is to say, it's still accessible. YouTube as a platform or video making as a platform. I remember when the YouTubers that made YouTube would just sit down in front of their laptop's built-in camera and would just talk for a couple of minutes until they ran out of things to say. What if we tried that again? And I know some people are doing it, but what if we made it popular again? What if somebody who does this could get the same level of successful as somebody who does this, but with expensive equipment and fancy editing and fancy everything? You know what I'm saying. What if when you look at recommended channels, somebody who has a huge budget and an incredible setup was right next to somebody who didn't? What if it didn't require digging or either from you or the YouTube algorithm to find somebody who still makes videos like this? What if your favorite YouTuber ditched all of it, ditched the lighting, ditched the camera, ditched the sets, ditched their editor? Well, don't keep them employed, but maybe they're editing themselves. A lot of them are. I think that's remarkable that a lot of people who make videos online on really incredible levels edit their own videos in such an incredible way. And you can tell by me going on a tangent here that I didn't script this. I'm trying to do what YouTubers used to do, just talk until I run out of things to say. But what if your favorite YouTuber did that? Ditched everything and recorded their video on their computer's built-in shitty webcam. Would you still watch them? Do you watch them for what they have to say or just for what it looks like when they say it? I think there is value in aesthetic. I think it's okay to watch somebody just because of what it looks like. I mean, the people put the effort and the money into it, and I think it's okay to honor that. I mean, I do it too. There are YouTubers I like because I love the way their stuff looks. And usually it's in combination with I like what they have to say. And I think I would still watch them even if they ditched all the fancy equipment and just filmed like this. But it's worth thinking about, right? How much do you value the aesthetic and how much do you value the content? And to think about, I think, the balance that you have. Because, like I said, it's okay to like something just for the way it looks. But if you no longer know anymore if it's the looks or the content, like the meaning that you like, where does that take you? And I recognize it seems a little bit hypocritical to do this with a good microphone. And it begs the question of if I value the audio quality enough that I think I can still make my point with improved audio quality, why not just stick to podcasts? And I did podcasts. But it's different. What if I do want to underline my points with a visual? What if the way I move my hands, the way my face looks, or maybe even an image I do bring myself to insert into the edit? What if they're important? What if I want to make it visually accessible? Podcasts aren't particularly accessible to the hard of hearing. Videos are there. They have subtitles. You can read lips if you can, you know, things like that. The same way a podcast shouldn't require the most expensive microphone on the planet, a video shouldn't require the most expensive camera on the planet. I think people that have something to say shouldn't feel like there is a barrier to saying it. They should be able to pick up their computer or their phone and just record themselves saying it and be heard, not for the way the video looks or sounds, but for what they're saying. I keep going back to thinking about the Vlogbrothers, who to me are like the epitome of the original YouTuber who, filmed like this, filmed videos like this, with their 4 minute constraint they put on themselves. What they did back then wouldn't even work anymore today. Even their videos today, they have better cameras, they have nice editing, um, all of these things. They are visually as appealing as any other YouTuber. And that's okay. They evolved, they changed. I think Hank Green very recently said something very good and important about change, that you can control the way things change. You can just go along with it and let yourself be changed. I'm paraphrasing here. Sorry if that's a gross misquote. But that was the nature of the original videos, right? You didn't look things up, you didn't script it, you didn't plan it, you talked. And if you did something wrong, maybe you recorded a correction later and inserted it, put it in the description, something like that. They used to have little annotations for YouTube videos that you could do. I miss those. um, they were fun. This is nostalgia. I'm very nostalgic recently, and I think we should, on some things, try to go back a little bit. We should let people make vlogs like this and hype them up the way we did 15, 20 years ago. We should try to let what the internet used to stand for come back. The accessibility, this place for everyone, not just for people with the budget, for everyone. This is an experiment.